that when people just say, I'm not going to listen to you, I'm going to do what I want to do, that's a hard heart. These people have only received soft teaching. In Matthew 7:28, it says, when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. Jesus taught different. He didn't teach like they were used to. He's not trying to be nice. Jesus is trying to kill us so He can resurrect us into complete people. For me, God has to talk to me this way because I am stubborn and I am strong-headed and I am arrogant and I am difficult. If you don't know me, that's what I'm like. If God were not strong with me, I would be in a very, very bad place. A very bad place. I know a handful of people in my life that I cannot run over because I take a good run at it most of the time. People who care enough to shove me when I'm out of line. Those are the ones I'll actually listen to. I have actually, people have come and they've talked to me about some stuff, and I've shoved so hard back that they said, I will never confront you again. You got to be pretty strong. God's strong. I love the board at Element. The guys are on the board of our, because they don't let me get away with jack. I mean, we go in there and I'll be like, I want to run. They're all, hold on, and we go. It's great. Sometimes they're like, I don't know why you like this so much. I'm like, yeah, Because it's not that I disagree. I just like to go. But the board's like that. They don't let me get away with anything. Even this week, I was pushing at something, and they're like, bam, slow down, pull the truck back. And it's good. I really respect them and love them because they're like that with me. If God was not like that with me, I would be in very tough shape. I am glad that when God violates me, He doesn't come and play my game. Oh, I'll hold you. Oh, I made you mad. He doesn't do that at all. If you are a child of God, you must be prepared for God to violate you and offend you and disciple you and mature you. He says, does this offend you? Verse 62, what if you see the Son of Man ascend to where He was before? The Spirit gives life. The flesh accounts for nothing. It says all work of the Spirit. He opens our eyes. He shows us Christ. He gives us instruction. The flesh, our works count for nothing. Nothing. The Spirit shows us Christ. It shows us the Father. If we receive anything, we cannot boast in that because it's all been a gift to you and I. Jesus says, the words I have spoken to you are spirit and they are life. And He finally alludes to the fact that He's speaking in metaphor. Finally, we'll take the Spirit to interpret these things so you get life. Yet there are some of you who do not believe. Again, the key is faith. For Jesus had known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray Him. He went on to say, this is why I told you that no one can come to me unless the Father has enabled him. There it is again. Now what does that tell you about Judas? Was Judas ever saved? No. Judas stole from Jesus. He didn't appreciate how Jesus was running His ministry. He wanted Jesus to do it completely different. Never believed. And yet God still used Judas' sin for God's own glory. Now if you're a disciple, what do you do at this point? What do you do? Jesus keeps making it harder and harder. And He says, even one of the 12 are not saved. Here's my words. Don't have faith. This is what happens. Verse 66. From this time, many of His disciples, the larger crowd, turned back and no longer followed Him. So that's it. I'm done. No more free sermons, no more free lunches. We're done. That's how God's going to speak to me, then I don't want it. If that is what God is like and how He deals with me, well then to hell with God. I'm gone. Happens all the time. People say, oh yeah, I want to be a Christian. People claim to be Christians and they don't even really follow Jesus. Because Jesus offends us sometimes. We don't like it. Jesus knew that would happen. If you resist God, you will be offended, period. I mean, there's a myth in our world that apart from God, there's like a standard of right and wrong and goodness. And when God does something wrong, we can appeal to that standard. Apart from God, there is no standard. Period. Love and justice flow from His being, and what He does is just and right. Verse 67. Looks at His disciples. He goes, you do not want to leave too, do you? Jesus asked the 12. This is not a good way to grow a ministry. 25,000 to 12. And then you try to kick those guys out. It's like LA Forum to Applebee's in one day. It's like, we'll take the booth in the corner. I did have a following, but they left at Stoll and Broadway, so it's just me. And so I asked him, do you want to leave too? Simon Peter answered, and I love this answer. Lord, to whom shall we go? Peter doesn't go, no, we don't want to go. He goes, I don't know any place to go. We're kind of stuck here, whether I like it or not. I got no other option. You have the words of eternal life. We believe and know that you are the Holy One of God. We don't even like some of the things that you said. They're very hard. Some of us are offended, but there's no other way to eternal life. There's nowhere else. And Jesus doesn't back off. Verse 70. Then Jesus replied, have I not chosen you the 12? Yet one of you is a devil. One of you still. He meant Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, who, the one of the 12, was later to betray him. Again, Judas never believed. He was selfish and self-centered. I'm going to summarize this as best I can. If you have not been offended yet, I'm going to do my best to do it right now. We live in a world where you are God and you sit on your throne and you determine right from wrong and justice from evil. And this ties itself into the consumerism of our day that says the customer's always right. Well, when it comes to God, the customer's never right. The customer doesn't even know what the customer needs. The customer thinks it knows what it needs, but the customer doesn't really know what it needs. The customer's like, In our culture, you look at all of your spiritual options and you exercise your free will as king of the universe to pick yourself a God and a gospel and an eternal life, just like a Capital One card. It's like, oh, what do you got? Well, in my wallet, this is who I got. And this is what we do. And what causes for people who call themselves pastors is they find a way to pitch you Jesus. So they find ways to sell you Jesus. Jesus made bread. Yes. So let's tell people they come to Jesus and they get to be rich, happy, and healthy. Jesus is like Viagra. Once you take him, everything gets better. And we tell people this. Believe Jesus, your heart will be whole. All your questions will be answered and everything will be great. Is that what happened to the 12? No. Not at all. I believe their hearts are made whole. But they got, people resisted them. Jesus spoke hard words to them and people then killed them. That's what they got. If this was a store, you wouldn't shop there. You'd go somewhere else. You show up and you get beaten and mocked and they run you over in the parking lot. You're like, oh, I'll go somewhere else. I don't like this store. Peter goes, where else are we going to go? God is free. God does what He wants. And that disrupts our consumer mentality. You go to a business and you say, oh, if you do this, then I'll shop here. And so we walk into a relationship with God and you say, you do this and I'll follow you. And God says, I don't care. Jesus says, you may not have been appointed to shop here anyway.